Hello, everyone. Yes, as the title suggests, we are back, not just for another season, another episode, but for the post-match show in general. As you may have known, life kind of got in the way. Weren't able to do as many shows that last year, but this season is a different season. Same old West Ham start, though, as West Ham falls victim to the debut of Erling Haaland by a score of 2-0. As always, I am your host, Chris. And as always, I am joined by my lovely co-host, Irish Tommy. Mate, it is good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Chris, and good to be back, and good to see some friendly faces in the chat there too.
Yes. Yeah, sorry everyone. Last season it just didn't work out as well. This season it's looking more promising, so we're gonna do our best to continually do as many of these as possible. I've always enjoyed doing them. I think I can speak for you as well on that, Tommy.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, as I had said, unfortunately, first match of the season, West Ham did go down in flaming defeat. Some good takeaways, others bad, but I mean, the first match of the season against the reigning champions, you're always going to have issues right off the get-go.
Yeah, and they're better than ever before.
Yeah.
The addition of Haaland is going to be a game changer for them. So a team that was already an excellent team and in the top three sides in Europe
Yeah.
is now, I think, the best team in Europe. They will lose very, very few games.
Oh, yeah.
I think this City team could even potentially match Arsenal's record of going a whole season without losing a game. Like they're good enough to do that. Um, they're just such a brilliant side. They've just got quality in every position and on the bench.
Yeah.
The
I
fact
mean,
as well that they can use 5 subs now if they need to.
yeah.
They
The
can
fact that
rest
their
key
bench,
players during games. Pep Guardiola has the benefit now of bringing 5 players off during a game if they're like 3-0 up, and he's bringing quality off the bench, and he can rest some of the stars, the big stars, and
yeah.
keep them a bit fresher. So just an exceptional side. Um, they're not as good. I'd say they're probably now the second best side he's ever had. Outside of the great Barcelona team that he had, I think this is the second best team to that team that he's ever had. They're just going to win trophies for fun now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you were saying with the new substitutions rule, I mean, it always helps a manager when his entire bench basically can walk into any team in the Premier League and be instant starters. I mean, he has a whole B squad on his bench that are just almost as good as the A side. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's the champions. They're the champions for a reason. They put the investment in, they put the time in, they have Pep at the helm. So I'm not too upset at the loss. There were some moments where I was upset with, but also some good takeaways. I think my biggest one is it's going to sound so trivial, but the fact that Moyes was making subs in the 55th minute, I'm like, holy crap, has he actually learned that he needs to give the players some time?
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. It's hard to know. Yeah, he made a double, so he brought Benrahma on, obviously, and he brought on Skamaka. So that was proactive, So hopefully, he's learned, as you say. But we'll see. Maybe the Antonio one was enforced. I think it probably was. Normally, he wouldn't take Antonio off at that point in the
Yeah.
game. So you could see, I was surprised actually that Antonio came out for the second half. He clearly wasn't right. All you're going to do by keeping on playing him is aggravating the injury and maybe lose him for a long period of time.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see what happens with Antonio if the injury is going to keep him out of some games. Hopefully not. Hopefully he'll be available next week. Otherwise, we're down to one striker again.
That's what I was
but
gonna.
yeah,
That's one thing I was gonna say. I mean, it's gonna definitely put a new spotlight on things in terms of needing to get more players in for depth, especially at the forward, because we know Antonio. When he's healthy. But if there's anything wrong, anything can go wrong with him at any given second. So, I mean, just having Skamaka now with him, I don't think is enough. I think we're going to need another forward for sure.
Yeah, and I think we'll get one. I think before we play Forest, I think Burton Diaz will be a West Ham player. I think he'll be
That's
brought in
interesting.
next week. Yeah, I think he'll be brought in next week as our third choice striker, just so we have that fail safe, which is good. I'm not a huge fan of Burton Diaz. I think he's in Premier League terms. I think he'll be a fairly average striker, but that's enough for a third
Yeah, we
choice.
just need the depth. We need
Third choice striker isn't going to be great striker because like a really really top striker isn't going to be anybody's third choice. So Burton Diaz will be good enough to be a third choice,
yeah,
um, and could do a Dawson. He's one of them players. He could come up from Championship and get his opportunities and start banging in freaking goals,
yeah,
and do a
absolutely.
Dawson. Might actually turn out to be actually better than we think. That's
Yeah,
entirely possible too, so hopefully, but at least it's important that we get him or someone like him in, whoever it is
yeah.
that Moyes wants to bring in. We need that third choice striker just for situations like this. If Antonio does go down, which seems likely at some point in the season, he's going to have an
I
injury.
mean, last season, I mean, was the first one that I can remember where he really didn't miss significant time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's kind of in as bad as it sounds, he's kind of due for something.
Yeah, and today, we could see.
Yeah,
I know it wasn't a contact injury either. He just he,
on
he
the
he was
landing, it was
challenging in the air for a ball, and when he landed, he obviously tweaked something which appears to have been in his knee. No, I don't think it's too bad. Anything too bad. I don't think we're going to be missing him for long, if at all. He might be okay for next week. We don't know, but
yeah,
that's why I was surprised he came back out at halftime. Um, I wouldn't have risked that. I would have just put Skamaka on. Skamaka surely was going to be good for 45 minutes. He's
yeah.
23, uh, clearly is fit. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Antonio. But hopefully he's okay. Um, but yeah, that was a positive. It was lovely to see Skamaka come in.
Absolutely.
It gave the crowd a lift as well, and he looked tidy when he came on too.
Yeah, he did look
He,
decent.
he put himself about and he looked good. He played had a couple of nice first touches. He put a bullet header in, which almost beat Ederson, which was offside in the end. But that was a really powerful bullet header right down into the corner. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to bring to the team.
What I was excited about Skamaka coming on in the 55th minute is usually what Moyes does is to get people like accustomed to it. It's like 5 minutes at a time. He'll need to sub him on in the 85th minute or something like that. Now he's gotten relatively significant time against Man City. Now he's kind of gotten a feel for it. I think he can only build on it from here.
Yeah, that's it. And look, obviously, he's not going to be playing against that kind of opposition every week. There will be a lot of games where we have much more of the ball and we can create much more chances. And um, it would be amazing next week if he could actually get off the mark. The sooner he scores a goal, the better.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you completely there. Um, One thing I also wanted to talk about too, I think it's my biggest concern. I probably a lot of the fan base, I'd say, has this concern too. But the defense just didn't look up to snuff. And I mean, I know we don't have Aguirre; he's out till, by the sounds of it, close to the World Cup break here in November. But Ogbonna's not ready to go. He's 34. Dawson had the injury. He's 32. And so we had to use Ben Johnson as a converted center back. I think that should be the main focus for the rest of the window is improving that defense, especially when Cresswell looked like he was just as ass as ever.
Yeah, that was a major problem today, and it has to be addressed. We have to get a left back in next week. It's as simple as that. And I mean a good one. We have to get a really good left back in who can go straight into that side, who's younger than Cresswell, fresher, has the legs, and has the quality. That's number one. Um, the other thing, obviously, from today, all our centre backs, bar Zuma, are injured,
Yeah,
which is ridiculous going into a season. Obviously, Aguirre, he's saying, is um, 10 weeks or so. So I don't expect we'll see Aguirre until after the World Cup.
Yeah.
um, which is a massive blow. Ogbonna, he's saying, is still maybe 3 weeks away, before we'll actually see him. Diop it doesn't seem like he's ever going to play for us again. He wants out.
Yeah.
Um,
So I saw that
and then
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then obviously Dawson picked up a knock. So we don't even know if Dawson will be ready for the Forest game. And if he's not, we're in exactly the same situation as this
Yeah.
week. So that's a worry. Whether or not Moyes will bring another centre back in during the week, I don't know. So it will depend on Dawson, I think. I think if he feels like Dawson will be available um, for the next couple of games, and then Ogbonna after that will also be available, he might not bring one in.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Hopefully, Dawson's good to go next week. But that's a major issue. Um, we need we need Dawson and Oggy back quickly, which looks like we will have, and then we just have to wait it out until Aguerd is back
Yeah.
after the World Cup. But vitally important that we get a left back.
How
Um,
how West Ham is it though that we get Aguerd in his first preseason match, he's out for 3 months almost.
that's incredibly annoying. That's just incredibly annoying. It would have been fantastic to have Aguerd and Zuma beside each other today. That would have been perfect. I mean, it's kind of a double whammy because Johnson having to play means Johnson has to play as the right-sided centre back, which is Zuma's position.
Yeah.
So Zuma has to play as the left-sided centre back, where he's not as comfortable and he's not as good. So you're kind of getting hit both ways. And yes, it showed in some of the defending today, which was quite loose. So
Yeah.
we really need to get that taken care of. And like you said, Cresswell, great servant and has had great seasons for us. But we really need a young left back who's got a lot of quality. That is absolute, and we need it now. This is
Um I think Tommy's internet either just went down or he accidentally left the studio. Well, so we'll give him here a second. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I I don't know what to do on this. Let's see what's going on here. There he is.
sorry, I don't know what happened. I just got a message up on my screen here that something went wrong.
I thought your internet might have died or something like that. I was like, oh no,
No,
this is awkward.
no, my internet didn't cut out. I think it was actually a StreamYard issue, but I'm okay. We're back.
Excellent.
I was probably rambling anyway. Probably you did it.
Yeah, I absolutely no. Jim asking, who do we want? Who would we want for a left back?
It's hard to know who's available at this point in the transfer
Yeah.
window. Yeah, honestly, I honestly don't know. But look, Moyes is going to have a couple of guys. I think I'd like to get a deal done quickly. So I think the most likely deal we could get done like very fast is Diallo from PSG.
Yeah.
He's surplus to requirements there, but he's a very good player. He's a really good left back. He'll be looking. He'd be very happy to join West Ham and play every week. He's not getting any game time at PSG, so and I think, like I said, that deal could be done with PSG very quickly. We recently, obviously, have done business with PSG. We have a good relationship with them. Obviously, Areola being the latest, but
Yeah, that's something we'll talk about here in a second.
yeah. So I think get Diallo in. He's available. It's doable. We can do it quickly. We can have him in. Now I know he wouldn't play against Forest because you know what Moyes is like. He'd want him to have a few training sessions and integrate him first, but he'd be available and ready to go. As soon as Moyes is ready to play him, and he would absolutely be an upgrade on Cresswell. But look, there may be another name or two out there that I'm unaware of that's really good
Yeah.
that Moyes wants, and Hopefully there is, and we go get them. Absolutely vital. I think I was saying just before I dropped out um, that this cannot wait. It just
I
can't
agree.
wait. We have to have a left back in there. Cresswell, as much as I love the guy, great servant and has had great times at West Ham and played some great games. You can see again today, he's just on the wane. He is. It happens to every player. He's on the wane, and we have got to replace him and do it now.
Yeah, we have to get it done before it's too late. I
He
mean,
shouldn't have been playing today, in my
agreed.
opinion. That should have been done. We should have had a left back in who was going to start today.
Yeah. We messed around with Kostic deal way too long, just for him to say basically piss off. So I mean, that's on the club a little bit, but I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm glad
you're
that
exactly
happened.
right. We've
Well,
had 2 months to
yeah.
examine.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm glad that deal fell through. The if the idea was to play him at left back, even though I know he has done it, he's really not a left back by trade. He's a winger and he plays very well at wing back. Um, Plus, I prefer Cornet anyway. Frankly, a much better age profile. He's got bags of
Yeah,
pace. Something we
and
badly
that's
lack.
another positive too. We have him in the waiting.
Yeah,
So we don't even get to see him yet. We'll see him probably or possibly next week
yeah.
with
We
Forest.
should. Yeah.
So, um, but
Also, just while we're still talking about defensively, um, I would be absolutely fine if Moyes decides to sign another really good centre back and spend some money on
yeah,
one. Because looking at the age profiles, I mean, Oggy and Dawson are both in their 30s now. I think they're 32 and 34 or
Dawson
something like
is
that.
30. Yeah, Dawson's 32. Ogbonna is 34.
Yeah. So, they're coming to the end too. So, and Diop, it looks like is going to be gone. So, if I would be very happy actually, even during the week, if Moyes decides, you know what, I'm going to go out and get another young centre back. He might not
I
be.
have seen reports that we're interested in, so we're examining deals and everything like that. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
see.
but we also do need to talk about the fact that Fabianski started over Ariel. I know that that's kind of dividing the fan base. I was very much shocked by that. I had figured Ariola was going to be the number one going forward, and Fabianski was going to be the rotation guy, or when he needed or Ariola needed a break.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too. I have to say. Um, I assumed that when Areola agreed to sign permanently on the money he's on, by the way, he's on bloody good money, Areola.
Yeah,
Um, And I assumed that he would have signed on the understanding that, look, you're my guy now. You're gonna be the Premier League goalkeeper, starter. So I was a little surprised to see
yeah,
Fabianski starting today. I would have started Areola, um, but might happen now anyway. It looks like Fabianski's hip might have given in again. So it looks like we probably will have Areola going forward, and I would imagine Moyes' attitude would be, "Look, you've got the shirt, you will keep it as long as you're performing." So,
yeah,
maybe by default now that Areola actually, or by accident, Areola now actually has become the first choice keeper going forward.
yeah. I will say though, I've seen a lot of people on a lot of the fan base on Twitter, like saying this is why we had or Fabianski should start after Ariel gave away the penalty, but then
That's rubbish.
Fabianski's done it numerous times as well. So
That's
I'm
rubbish.
yes, it was a stupid. Yes, it was stupid. I can't
Uh,
believe he did it, but I'm not
uh,
gonna. Yeah,
it was one of those. We see that all the time with keepers. He's coming out. It's a 50-50 ball almost, and um, Haaland is just so quick. I think I
he's
don't. I think
so
and obviously he's not accustomed to Haaland either. It's his first
yeah,
game in the Premier League, Haaland. So any other player almost or most other players, Areola probably does get there, get ahead
yeah,
on him.
absolutely.
Um, but Haaland is so bloody quick. He was probably surprised himself, Areola, how quickly Haaland got there. His acceleration is insane.
He's such a good player. I
Like he
don't
has
even.
a good top speed, Haaland. He's not
Yeah,
lightning, but he has a good top speed. But the thing that really made my eyes open today watching him was his acceleration. Going
Yeah,
from a jog, he gets from a jog to top speed like that.
yeah, and it helps that his
Insane
legs are that
acceleration.
goddamn long.
You saw it in the goal he scored. Remember when he made that run in between
Yeah,
Zuma and Johnson, and you see him accelerating away from Johnson. You're like, holy crap!
it's just he's a freak of nature in all the
He is.
best possible ways.
He is absolutely a freak of nature, that boy, and
He's
I think
only
that's what.
22. That's what's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's scary. He's not even in his prime yet. So
Yeah, and he's bagging.
so I think that's what happened with Areola. I think Areola was surprised how quickly he got
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Like I said, I'm not gonna put him at fault and say, oh, I don't ever see him uh, between the sticks anymore. But
No, that would be ridiculous. To
yeah,
say,
exactly.
oh, he's no good because he made that error today. It's just one of those things.
Yeah,
Against, like I said, against almost any player, he gets there.
yeah, absolutely.
And and I'm sure when he left instinctively and felt he was going to get there.
Yeah,
But like I said, Haaland is just insanely quick to accelerate and just got there just ahead of him, tipped the ball away, and it was Areola couldn't. His momentum carried him in, and he couldn't pull out of it at that stage. And it's
yeah,
just one of those things. I wouldn't slate any keeper for that unless I wouldn't consider that to be like a stupid error.
yeah. No, no, no. Let's talk about some of the quieter players today. Didn't hear much of
that'll
Lanzini.
take that'll take a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't really hear much of Lanzini's name called. Bowen seemed to be completely out of it. Fornals was. I what I'm still surprised about too is Saeed Ben Rama came on and he actually looked decent. He looked like he was playing pretty decent, all things
Yeah,
considered. But
the
the fact
same.
that we're ready to sell him, that's what's confusing to me.
Well, yeah, it's confusing to me. Not in the sense that Moyes wants to bring someone else in his place. I don't particularly have a problem with that. If that's how Moyes feels,
Yeah,
so be it. It's just like now. It's like Moyes. Did you see the bench today? Like, and it's very likely that Vlasic will join Torino
yeah,
next week. And if someone comes in with an offer for Benrahma, you're going to let him go too? I mean,
yeah.
you better have players like lined up and ready to come in.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I'm afraid of is a repeat of last season with just a paper thin squad,
yeah,
um, in
we'll
all
end up
areas.
we'll end up with no bench next week.
Yeah,
So I don't mind him selling Benrahma and Vlasic if that's what he wants to do, but he's gonna have to replace them immediately.
yeah,
Not before the window closes. Like you need to replace them like within a couple of days. We
yeah.
have to have
If you're selling him tomorrow, you better have someone
yeah.
ready the day after.
Yeah, we have we have to have a bench when we go to Forest next Sunday. It's 7 days. I do think we'll lose Vlasic during the week. Now, presumably, Moyes is already in talks with the club, and things are progressing for someone who would be a replacement for Vlasic. Um, and the same, I would hope, would be true. Now, I don't think Benrahma will go. I don't think we'll get a bid for Benrahma.
At least not that of anything we're going to be asking for.
No, I don't think we'll get a suitable bid. Certainly. No, I
What
think
did I can't
Benrahma will
remember.
stay.
What did we bring? What fee did we get Ben Rama on?
Benrahma was around 25 all in, was
I
it
was going to
something
say it
like
was
that he
mid
cost us?
20s.
Yeah, around 25 all in, something like that.
Someone who's in the chat, if you could look that up, please, I'd be greatly appreciative.
Yeah, because there's usually
Um,
add-ons and stuff. So I think probably
yeah,
25 or so. Maybe a little more. I can't remember exactly, um but look, I mean, there'd be no reason we couldn't your club wouldn't be willing to pay 20 million for someone like Benrahma.
yeah,
Um but my problem with Benrahma again today is the same old, same old. His end product is really poor.
yeah,
Like his final ball is terrible, and his shooting is not very good either. He got into a really good shooting opportunity again. He always tries those far post curling things.
yeah,
Like it's like that's the only shot he knows. It's like far post curl. It's either along the ground or he's trying to put it top corner. Today he went along the ground, but unfortunately it was right in the middle of the goal, straight at Ederson. But his final pass, his final ball, final attempt at a cross is almost always poor, and we can't have that. It's just too wasteful. That's why I would sell him, but we just have to make sure that we're not hurting ourselves by selling him. We have to get a replacement in. Um,
Oh, absolutely. But with regards to some of the other guys, Lanzini, like I said, he was non-existent today, and we were like compared to Benrahma, we're gonna sell Benrahma but keep Lanzini.
um,
It confuses me.
yeah, look, that's Moyes just likes Lanzini. That's it. Managers are always like that. They have players they like and players that they're not so fond of. Um, Lanzini is just a player that Moyes likes. Now I also think I would love to get in like a really, really good number 10. I
Oh
really
yeah,
would. I would love to get in a really good number 10. Again, young, talented, hungry, ambitious. I think that is another position we have to deal with. We've sorted the left wing, thank God. That was a massive position of need. We've got Cornet in, which is really exciting. Like, he is quality. I think you wait till Cornet starts playing, and then you'll see the difference on that left
yeah,
hand side between him and Benrahma or Fornals or Vlasic whenever they've had to play out there. Completely
yeah,
different animal. He's got so much skill, so much pace, and he gets goals and assists. He did brilliantly in a really poor Burnley team last season
yeah. I
with
agree.
scored goals and assists. Every time when we played them, he played against us. He troubled us. I was like, "Fucking that corner is a problem," So I'm really delighted with that. So the left hand side still needs sorting out as regards the left back, but at least we've got Corner, there to sort out left wing. And like
Yeah,
if we could get in a number 10, a really good number 10. I don't think we will. I don't think
no,
Moyes is looking at
unfortunately
that
not.
right now. I think Moyes is looking definitely. I hope at a left back, and he's definitely got to be looking at another centre back now. Um, and I think he's also looking at a midfielder. We know that because
Oh, no,
we
no.
tried to sign Onana, and I think we were interested in the lad in can't remember his name now over in Holland, but he's just signed a new bloody contract.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
PSV,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't remember his.
yeah, Sangari,
Yes.
but he's just signed a new contract until 2027.
Yeah, and it
So
was
yeah,
rumored. Yeah, it
so
was
there
also.
goes his so there goes his release clause.
Yeah.
Um, So that looks like that won't happen. But I think Moyes will bring in at least one central midfielder, definitely. Um,
Yeah,
hopefully a
that's
left
the
back.
problem. If you look at it, like everything we're talking, I think we need it to be a fully rounded squad with good depth. I think we need still another 3 to 4 players.
100%. 100%. Right now we need about 4 players. Um, so like I don't want to keep repeating. We know the positions that we need. We need to get another centre back in. We need a left back. Moyes obviously wants a central midfielder, and I think we definitely need a number 10. Um, so if we could get those 4 positions done, that would be brilliant. Left back as an absolute necessity. That has to be done. And actually central midfield, I thought Sochek was dog shit today.
I was
I
gonna say
really
he's
did.
another one that I think I heard his name maybe twice.
He was really bad, and I know last season we kind of gave him some benefit of the doubt because we thought it was maybe just fatigue. But in the first game of the season, he was really poor. So I'll be keeping a very, very close eye on Sochek at Forest next Sunday.
Yeah.
If he's poor next Sunday, alarm bells will be ringing in my head.
Oh yeah. I
You
completely
can make
agree.
excuses against City that maybe the players around him were just too good for him, but if he's poor at Forest next week, against their fucking midfield, um, then it's going to be alarm bells. So if Moyes does spend quite a lot of money on a player to put in, like a really good player like Onana to put in beside Rice, I'll be absolutely fine with that too. That would definitely improve us. I'm really worried about Sochek now.
Yeah. I think you said it best there. Yeah, just we got to keep an eye, or we'll have to keep an eye on him next week, and then go from there.
Yeah, and I think Moyes did say that he wants to bring in another 4 or 5 players.
Yeah, I think the reports were that we're expected to bring in still after a Cornet 1 to 4. So, I mean, hopefully it's on the higher end just for the, if
Has
nothing
to
else,
be.
for depth.
It has to be
Yeah,
in the higher end, especially like Vlasic is going to go during the week to Torino. Like
yeah,
we're in advanced talks with Torino already. He's gone.
yeah. I can't remember. Is it just a loan or is it just
No,
full on stuff?
it's a permanent signing. Yeah, it's a
Oh, gee.
sale.
I thought it was a loan. I thought it was a
No,
loan
it
game.
looks like Torino are going to sign him on a permanent deal.
Hmm.
So that'll be him gone.
I think he would do well in Italy, personally.
Yeah, of course he will. It's Italy. You know, it's a much easier
Yeah,
league to play in than Premier League. He'll probably go out there and do very well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So before we kind of start wrapping things up here, is there anything else you'd like to talk about with the match? Transfers, anything?
Just as regards the match, I was just very disappointed with the performance overall. We just weren't at it today, and we just didn't really make City earn it. I think
Yeah.
City barely broke a sweat. Really, they didn't have to push themselves. I mean, there was a period there after we went 2-0 down, the last kind of 12 minutes plus injury time. I noticed that City players were like walking with the ball. You
The
know,
announcers here in
Like,
America literally said that they were on energy conservation mode.
yeah. I mean, Man City player gets the ball, he's literally standing, not moving, and then would walk with the ball for a little bit before passing it off.
Yeah.
Before a West Ham player would kind of saunter up to him and make him have to pass it somewhere. Um, our players had packed it in at that point. They'd given it up. That was really disappointing. We just made it easy for City today. We didn't make them earn those points. As good a team as they are, and it shows up in the possession stats. Like they
Yeah.
were all going to have more possession than us, um, but for us to have 21% possession at home, um,
That even feels high.
that's terrible.
Uh,
I don't care who you're playing. 21% shows that you were not at it.
feel
You
like
were
it was
not.
more 90-10.
Yeah, I can't remember what the final was. The final it was ridiculously low. Um, that shouldn't happen, and that tells you everything you need to know about how we performed today, and just the lack of effort. I thought really the lack of energy in the performance.
You weren't
Um,
far off. We only had 24%.
24%. That's so bad.
That's
That's
awful.
so bad. It's really terrible. We were on a hiding to nothing. Really, you can't win a game like that.
No, not
Um,
at all.
so that's the really disappointing thing is we just did not turn up. You can't really pick out one player for West Ham today and say, man, he was fucking excellent today.
No.
He was excellent
Even
today.
Rice.
There isn't one. Rice, yeah, look, Rice did his best. He always will, and he was our standout player. He had a good game, Rice, but nobody had a great game. You know,
Yeah.
um, so that was the disappointing thing for me. It was always likely we'd lose the game, but I just didn't want to lose it like that. City didn't have to break a sweat. They never had to push themselves.
No.
You remember the second last game of the season. Last season we played them at home.
Yeah.
Fuck me! I'll tell you what, we didn't have to put them to the pin of their collar. They were lucky to come out of it with the 2-2.
Yeah.
We were 2-0 up half time. You remember in that game? I mean, we were electric in that game. It was just a great performance. Essentially the same team that we put out today. But totally different. We were very flat. So that's the negative. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, I think you summed it up pretty well there. Um,
But
so
here's the thing: I don't want to end the show on a negative like that.
yeah, no,
Um,
fair enough.
yeah, because I don't want to be accused of being completely doom and gloom, or
No,
you know, like,
it's yeah. For anyone watching, obviously this is the post match reaction. The match ended a little over an hour before the show
yeah,
began. This is just gut instincts, gut reactions.
yeah,
We're not thinking, oh, the season's over for this loss. I
yeah.
mean,
It's
again,
not over, obviously.
we're playing one of, if not the best team in the world in this, and we're just
City,
more
yeah,
than anything, we're just
City, yeah.
disappointed. In, like,
This is a City team that might lose 2 or 3 games all season, maybe.
yeah,
You know, so let's keep it in context.
no,
Um,
absolutely. But
And there will be teams on the end of far worse than 2-0 against this lot. But the positive is, I think we will still have a really good season.
I
I
agree.
really do. We won't be playing teams like City every week. Let's be honest, and thank God we only play them twice. But
Yeah,
we
we got
won't.
one, and we got one of them out of the way right off the get go. We don't have to worry about it. It's done. I don't know when the next one
Yeah,
is against, or the other fixture against City is,
yeah,
but
probably sometime second half of the season. Probably
we're looking around at
be good.
everyone else. They still have to play City twice. We've
Yeah,
already gotten it out of the way, and it was on the first match of the season where
yeah,
a lot of teams take, or some teams like us, take a week or two to kind of get back into the swing of things.
yeah. Plus, we've got more signings to come.
Exactly.
Before the window
Cornet is going to
closes.
be on the bench at the minute.
Cornet now will come into the team. He'll be good to go against Forest. Skamaka, got nice minutes under his belt today. He'll be training all week. He'll be good to go next week
Yep.
if Moyes wants to start him. So, and obviously at some
Hopefully,
point very soon, at some point very soon, we spent a lot of money on Skamaka. He's going to start games, so he'll be in the team very soon. Cornet will be in the team very soon. Hopefully, Dawson will be back next week to help stabilize the back line. Oggy will be back shortly after that. So once we get Oggy fully fit, he can go into that left centre back position. Zuma can go back to his position. Plus the new signings that are coming in. I'm sure we'll get, hopefully, a left back was really good. We will get a central midfielder, I believe, like a good central midfielder. And like you say, we'll be playing lesser teams. So much better things for us to come, much more positivity for us to come.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I still think we're going to have a really strong season. We'll be in amongst it, challenging for those European places. And I'm calling it now, very, very early before we've kicked the ball in it. But I'm predicting right now that we're going to win the Conference League.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Bare minimum, we're going to be in the finals again, or
Yeah.
in the finals for this, I believe. I'm in total agreement with you. I think that we're going to be challenging for European spots, top 7, maybe even top 6. So
Yeah.
I mean, is the announcer said it best. This season's not a sprint; it's a marathon. And we kind of got out of this, or it was a stumble out of the get go today, but we still have 37 matches left to play. So no need to pull any alarms right now.
Not for a second. And don't get it twisted. We are still absolutely going to be right up there. I mean, Man
Yep.
City were shocking. Man United were shocking today against Brighton. Absolutely shocking. Villa got turned over by Bournemouth yesterday. Some of these teams around us, Wolves, were not good. So some of these teams around us that we feel like would normally be up there, kind of challenges us. The likes of Villa, Everton have dropped off. Everton are in danger of the drop. Lampard will be sacked before Christmas. So
I
a lot of
don't
these
mind.
teams around us are not shaping up too well. And I think
No,
when we've got everyone kind of fitting in the team, obviously Aguerd will come back at some point. We'll have a bloody good first 11, and our bench will be looking much stronger. So, and we are better than a lot of those teams. We
no,
could very easily, and I think actually looking around, I think there's a great chance for us for top 6. Great chance.
I do too. I agree, especially with Man United being as shocking as they seem to be.
They were terrible. They were all over the place.
Yeah,
You know that
and
that was
and then
really
on
poor
top
from
of
them.
all of this as well, I just want to make sure we all know this too. The best positive that comes out of this weekend is that football is back. The
Yeah,
season's here.
exactly.
Premier League's back. No more waiting.
Yeah, we've got 7 games this month.
Love it. Excellent.
6
Love
more. Yeah, so there's lots of West Ham to come,
that. Yeah.
and we'll have a lot more good results than bad. I'm convinced of that.
And we'll have a lot more shows. We'll have a lot more post-match
Yeah,
shows.
it's going to be brilliant. Yeah, I'm looking
Yes.
forward to it.
So if any of you are joining us late, again, sorry for last season, just didn't work out. We are back though, better than ever. Just getting in our groove again, and
Yeah,
we'll just keep going on from here. And I anticipate a great season, so I'm anticipating a lot of great post-match shows.
Yeah, I am fully expect us to bounce back next Sunday. I think we'll go to the City ground and turn them over.
I agree,
Um,
and I can't wait
uh,
for, like I was telling Tommy beforehand, I can't wait to see Rice or whoever it is 2-foot tackle Lingard.
and another possible positive we could take from today's game is that the players will know themselves that they
Oh
weren't
yeah,
great today. They'll know they didn't perform well, and I'm sure they're going to want to go up to Nottingham next Sunday and make amends for that and and they'll all want to put in a much better performance next time.
I agree. I completely agree with you on that. And I mean, no one is ever going to be no one is going to be a bigger critic than yourself. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a situation like that with the entire team, let alone Moyes getting under them as well. So,
Yeah, he'll have had a few words in the dressing room. No,
but
I don't think he's not going to go in there and
oh,
shout
he's
and
not. He's not the yelling type, but
yeah,
he'll
break
he'll
cups off the
basically go ahead
wall.
and say, "You
But
know
he,
that
yeah,
you can do better."
yeah, he'll be having some stern words
Oh yeah,
that he expects better than that, and next week he expects much better performance than he got today.
yeah, absolutely. Yes. So as Tommy was saying, the next match is next Sunday against Nottingham Forest. We'll be right back here following that match. Tommy, before we leave, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, I think I've pretty much covered everything. I'd only be repeating myself, I think, but just obviously to thank everybody in the live chat for joining and for their comments. I do read them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, we do.
so yeah, so
Even if they don't get shown, we see all of them. So
yeah, we do see them. We do acknowledge you. We know you're there. We see you. Thanks for joining us. Um,
yes,
and going forward, hopefully you can all join us. Every week. If you enjoy the show, fingers crossed.
yeah, yeah, makes
And like I
yeah,
say, any questions, anyone in the live chat, whoever has a question, Chris will put the question up,
yep.
and we'll happily answer any questions you have as well.
And then also on top of that, like if you guys like these, make sure you're liking the videos. Make sure, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that. That helps us out too, and that helps us grow even more.
Yeah, if you subscribe and hit the bell notification, you'll get an alert whenever we're going live.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, Freshfielder has a question. I get this one a lot. Um, no, I'm not. The problem I have is where I live in the southwest of Ireland in County Kerry, up a mountain. Um, I cannot get fiber optic broadband.
Oh,
I can't get really fast broadband. Um, I have a little dish on
oh,
the
jeez.
gable of the house, which is pointing at a mast out of the other end of the valley. Um, which is how I get my Wi-Fi.
Wow, I didn't even
So
know that.
yeah, so my picture will never be great. I think my laptop will choke the picture quality a little bit, just so that I don't keep buffering. So this is as good as I'm ever going to look, I'm afraid. But be careful what you wish for. You do not want to see Irish Tommy in 4K.
That would be a day.
Oh, Freshfielder's mum is from Tralee. I'm just outside Tralee.
Hmm, very nice.
Yeah,
But yeah, so listen, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for the first post-match show of the season. We have plenty more of these coming. We have lots of matches this season. Very excited, or just excited for football to be back, I should say.
it's great to have the Premier League back. Yeah,
Yes, it feels good. All
it's
right,
going to be a
everyone.
crazy season. I
Oh yeah,
mean, we've got Premier League for a while, then we break from the Premier League, and we have a World Cup to watch, and then we get back to our Premier League. It's
we might
amazing.
even have to do some post-match shows for the World Cup.
Yeah, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, that's gonna be so. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for this season. So stay tuned, guys. Join us for the ride. Join us as much as you can. Like I said, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way you can get alerts for when we go live and the videos are posted. So until next week, come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.